I'm going to try to do this very, very quickly, and there's a ton to get through, and I don't want it to be a long video. This film, Bliss, right? I was watching Matt at Quantum of Conscience. If you don't watch his channel, you probably, well, it's a good channel. He was talking about this film. So I went and watched the film, then I watched his video on it, then I watched the film again. And I had some ideas about what the film was about to begin with, and Matt kind of touched on them a little bit in his presentation. I watched the film again, and all it did for me was reconfirm what I'd initially thought about the film. What got to me though was I read some of the comments, and it didn't seem like people were really getting it. And it, you know, I thought I'd just put my 2 cents in. You know what I mean? So, if you've not watched this film, it's definitely worth a watch. This will not make any sense to you if you've not watched the film, because I'm not going to do a breakdown of what happens in the film, or any kind of like plot to begin with. I will mention bits of the plot, but I'm just going to go over really what I think the film's about, and then that'll be the end of it, really. So Owen in the film, Owen Wilson, Salma Hayek. Owen is a broken man. He's a junkie, and he's got a broken marriage. And so at the start of the film, we see him doodling, and of course, people are unsure in the comments section of Matt's video about what that means. Those are ideas that he has. Those are dreams that he has. He's a broken man. He's doodling, his fantasies on, paper. So he's showing you his thoughts. These are his thoughts. Later on in the film, we see the thought visualizer, drawings on a screen that happen to be about the same size, this is the thought visualizer that we're seeing. It's the same thing in the reality with like a TV screen or, a monitor screen. It's that monolith thing that creates those thoughts, those visualizes our thoughts. Well, the monolith, he also visualizes the monolith as well. He also visualizes the moon goddess, the fictional waters. This is the personification, the physical manifestation in his reality of these thoughts and ideas that he's having. Okay, this is his dream woman. It shows you that when he gets to the blue reality, right? The reality that we're in right now, where he starts off, we see little bits and bobs that allude to the fact that things are fictional in that reality as well. Not generated necessarily by Owen, but like the wallet that flickers on and off. All that wallet contains is fictional ideas, money, Federal Reserve notes, completely belief-based. No physical backing to them at all. The driving license. They make a point to mention the driving license. No, it's built from the what Matt says, the straw man. I like to say the fictional person, the birth certificate fictional person of the legal system. That thing, that person belongs to the legal system. What happens is we as men decide, that's your little clone, by the way. We decide to step into the shoes of that clone. We decide to play that role. The names match up, so we think it's us, These are all the little illusions, all the little thoughts and ideas we have that aren't really real. They're not really based in the physical world until we make them, until we create those things into the physical world, which is what he's doing during this film, especially when he takes the blue pill. Between him and her being, she is Eve. She is the thing that lures him. She's the manifestation of those physical ideas. He's generating her. She is the personification of those ideas. The very same thing that's luring him. Okay, and that is demonstrated by the fact that she's his perfect woman, his soulmate, I think is what they call it in there, because this is what, this is what she is. She's not real. She can only deal with the soul. She's not, when we're in the physical world, she has no jurisdiction. That's a topic for another day, though. But so we see him when he takes the yellow pill, which is, alluding to the sun, to nature. When he takes the yellow pill, he is able to affect people in this world. But those people, we have to remember, those people are playing a role again. They're playing the fictional person role. And this is what he has power over. This is what nature gives you. It's very, very clever, because the way jurisdictional boundaries lie is that nature always has precedence, because we're in a physical world. We're in a world set in stone. This is why the Ten Commandments are set in stone. The stone is, matter. That is what the stone is. So all these things, all these rules are set in stone for us to be able to see. The rule is balance. If we look at how nature works, it's all cycles. So everything is balanced in the world. So when we're dealing with the sun is the center of nature. This is why Jesus was the sun, This is why, gold is the preferable color. This is why, this is all the reasons why nature, what am I trying to say? Nature has this power over the fiction in this realm. This is the beauty, that we are physical beings, because it has jurisdiction over those physical things, the metaphysical things. Okay, the moon goddess, the whatever you want to call this, Mercury, Venus, Athena, Diana, the moon goddess, Diamond. They have a ton of diamonds in this. The Diana moon, that is the fictional system. This is why there are seas on the moon. This is why the moon has an effect on the tides. This is why men fall in love with the sea. This is why men want to go to sea. This is why we have things like mermaids that lure us. This is Eve. This is the very same place that we're born from, incidentally. We are born from the metaphysical into this world. In fact, all matter is born from the metaphysical into this world. That's getting even deeper. But this is why Mary is called Mary, for the maritime. This is why she wears blue and white, and she births the sun. So the very fact of the matter is, the physical always has jurisdiction over, in this realm, over the metaphysical. And this is the beauty of nature as well, is that it gives us a solution. It's an antidote. The actual physical nature around us, as I've said before in another video, is the antidote for the body. The body generates our self-image, it generates the ego, it's all one and the same thing, and it's all generated from what the body wants to do. The body wants to survive. That's what you're addicted to. This is why he's a junkie in the film, because he's addicted to all those things that the body wants. And those things that the body wants, we build layers upon it. At the root, they're all a physical response to something we have in the body, a need to survive. And we generate layers and layers and layers upon that, and those thoughts and ideas of the needs that we have, the fictional ideas that we want to create, are all to do with satisfying the body at the core. And the problem is what we've done is we've removed the body from nature. Nature is the antidote. That's why the yellow pill is the antidote. That's why they're able to control fictional people. Nature is that antidote to the body's wants and needs. Nature just gives the body what it needs when it needs it. No more, no less. The nature balances the body. All right. So the problem what we've got is we've come out of nature and we've generated this blue reality. This is what they do in the film. They snort the blue pills and they generate a bliss reality, right? That well, what is bliss? Is bliss that reality that they create with the blue, or is bliss really the reality that we're in where we're balanced? That's up to the individual to decide. But they generate this fictional reality. Let's call it the blue. It's the blue reality, right? And we know it's the fictional reality because they give us clues. Number one, it's all his thoughts that have been visualized, right? We've been told this now, and we're told it in that reality with his invention, the thought visualizer, with his drawings in the first reality, and the very fact that that reality has a ton of references to the fictional waters. Again, it's in a bay. It is what am I going to say? They go sailing so they're on the water in one part of it. They're overlooking the sea with from their house in it, and he's swimming again. He's swimming in it, and there's also I think a couple of fountains that show up in the background in it as well. Whereas in the first reality, there's not really any water showing up, so to speak. Not in the way that it shows up in his in his dream reality, in the blue reality. He is also able to control the people in that reality with the yellow pill. So that's telling you that those people are still fictional people, right? They're persons, fictional persons that he still has power over. And you see the reality start to break down, and they come back into the real reality. And I'll pick up a little clip from that here in just a second, because there's something very interesting. But again, they in the other reality, in the blue reality, they mention on the thought visualizer being in a pickle, and that's right where the film kind of gets to its climatic end. Is they're in a pickle, right? Even Bill Nye showing up in the blue reality, he actually is on the TV earlier on in the film. I can't remember exactly when it was. When Owen was selling his phone, or sometime earlier. I can't remember exactly. He was in one of the, but it was definitely in the first reality. So we've got this sort of him maybe subconsciously seeing Bill Nye and then putting him into that other reality. And you'll see this, like there's a lot of bits and bobs that show up in the second reality, in the blue reality, from her campsite, little bits and bobs in during the film. The statues, the guy throwing the can of beer to him or whatever, he threw a can of pop or whatever to him, and in the blue reality it's a peach, and there's a bunch of little bits and bobs that show up like that throughout the film, that you can tell that what he's doing is seeing things and then generating this blue fictional realm. So I don't know what else to say about it. Let me go and show you this end part, because I think that's interesting, and hopefully I've done this pretty quickly this time. Let's see. So let me just drop back a little bit. So he's he's basically in like a storm drain, like a canal that would drain storm water. Maybe a dry river, but anyway, it's concreted up, canal type thing, a storm drain, and he's coming up out of there. You know, the type they have in Los Angeles. Anyway, comes running up out of here, out of another like subsidiary little offshoot train, and what we've got is this. We've got this symbolism again about the man being reborn. Here we've got this triangle here represents man, and then this triangle here represents the woman. So we've got the A for Adam, the upward phallus arrowhead here. This would represent the bow. This would represent the womb. This would represent V, as in Eve. The V of the cup of Christ, even. You know, this is why James Bond drinks martinis, because he's got to have that glass, you know, that's the martini glass. This is the flux capacitor, you know. This is the Holy of Holies. This is the Vesica Pisces, the eye from which you are born. This is the portal or portal to a different realm. This would normally contain water, this thing here, and this is where he's coming out of. He's being reborn, and the first place he goes, as he's coming up out of there, the first thing he does is he crosses a bridge, and the bridge is a balance between those two sides of reality, between the metaphysical and the physical, between all the ideas we have and nature. Okay, so this is what the bridge represents. It represents that balance. You know, you've got to be stood right in the middle of the bridge there. You know, this is why you see like Man on Wire, that film. You know, this is why, you know, people pick up on certain films later on after they've done other films like Back to the Future. You know, I can't remember. I think it's Zemeckis that maybe did Man on Wire. I can't remember now, but you know, they dress the characters up the same and everything else. So, where does he go? Rattles across the street. You know, he's pretty upset, and he's going straight to the safe harbor. Okay, you know, there's no escaping the fictional realm. There's no escaping the spiritual side of reality, the metaphysical side of reality, the place where we can have dreams and create ideas and have thoughts. There's no escaping that unless you have a lobotomy. There's no escaping it. So, you know, what you need to do is you need to find a safe harbor, rather than entering into the port of somebody else's game, you know, into the legal system or into other people's ideas and being controlled by those things. So we've still got to deal with that side of reality. We've still got to deal with the female goddess type figure. You know, that's always going to be there. That's, you know, I mean, that's how reality works. That's the, you know, are we here to be a bunch of monkeys swinging around in the tree? I don't think so. I think we're given that gift for a reason. It's a very, very difficult gift to balance. Very difficult. Anyway, he's got to get rehabbed. He's going to get rehabilitated off the blue crystals, right? Off those ideas, those fictional things, all the stuff that we want, you know, the cravings. Difficult thing to do. I'm going to leave the film there. That's, I mean, some interesting stuff in there. Hopefully you enjoyed, and I guess I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, bye.